This is the monopoly of video games. Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Sid Meier's Civilization 5, or Civ 5 for short. And I know what you're thinking right now, Tom, why would you not review Civilization 6 instead, seeing that it's more recent? Well, good question, and it has two simple answers. First, it's because everyone and their mother recommended me to play Civ 5 instead of 6, seeing that 5 is the better game. An opinion formed by their arbitrary minds without any actual facts, but hey, I love them, so I'll take their word for it. And the second reason is because the Team Summer Souls is going on right now, and as we speak, and I'm a cheap bastard, sorry, so I'm gonna go with the cheaper option. But how does Civ 5 play? Well, it's absolutely perfect. Let's dive in. Pretty much everything in Civ 5 can be seen as a positive. There's only two questions you need to ask yourself. 1. Do you like turn-based strategy games? And 2. How well can you handle defeat when you will inevitably lose? Either against AI or the one person whose name you'll no longer say because you used to be friends until one of you gets annoyed enough and eventually declares war on the other just for shits and giggles. Yes, Travis, I'm talking about you. You know what you did, you piece of shit. Okay, but let's cut the crap and actually see how the game of Civ 5 plays out. Because there's no story and enjoyment is to be extracted from the gameplay itself. I'll tell you step by step how a game goes. First, you need to set up the game. Pick one of the many leaders to play as, each with their own bonuses. Then select how many enemies you want and maybe tweak a load of extra settings. Each of these can make every game feel different and unique. In the first 25 turns you will place your main capital and start your civilization. You will use your warriors to scout out some of the land and check around you for barbarians and other civilizations. Things move slow, but that's okay, you're weak and probably not capable of much anyway at this point. Don't forget to get some workers as well, to increase the productivity of your land and to increase the growth of your cities. You'll probably build a second city by this point and have your land expand a little bit, while your technology allows you to build bigger buildings and armies. If you're found with other civilizations, it's a good idea to broker trade deals with them to increase your production and your science. It'll help you now and later, because the better the bond with your allies, the less likely they are to attack you later on. You brokered those trade deals yet? Well, I didn't, and now George Washington is out for my people's blood. Learn from my mistakes. At this point, having a sizable army is pretty much needed if you find yourself in the same predicament I found myself in. It might be a good plan to invest in some combat-based policies, just saying. If you've managed to keep the bloodthirsty Americans at bay with your Ford-infused defense line, you're doing well. If not, enjoy the cold grave. You might want to build a third city, although it's not required. Also, be sure to keep an eye out on the happiness of your people. It can trigger a golden age, which in turn will greatly increase your gold capacity and your production. During turn 151 and 200, you're probably growing your cities up to a sizable scale. You'll be building buildings, growing your lands even larger, and making sure those damn Americans don't cross your border again. I'm sure that there's a Trump border joke here to be made, but that would be just too easy. By the time turn 200 passes, you'll be about 3.5 hours in. Gameplay wise, turn 300 will mean that you probably got sick and tired of your small unexplored confinement, as you bought a boat and some land units, only to find out that those damn Americans are everywhere around you. So you might as well barricade yourself in completely, seeing that most people do that anyway already. Around the time of turn 400, your one small army is now an entrenched war machine, which allows no enemies to even breathe in your general direction before meeting their inevitable doom. While at the other end of the world, people are slaughtering each other for their main capitals to win a domination victory, you will laugh at their insignificance as you plod along for your science victory. Ha fucking ha AI, you lose. At this point, 4 or 5 civilizations have probably flourished, while the other 5 or 6 have been burned to the ground. Seeing that my entrenched soldiers have become entrenched tanks, I'll say that I'm one of the flourishing ones. That and the fact that I've been not rolling over in my grave from all the low-life threats I've been getting for the last 50 turns. All because I'm about to win a science victory in a couple of turns. Congratulations, fucker, you played yourself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You've been defeated by AI because I set the turn limit to 500. I had not yet completed my spaceship and some Arab controlled most of the world's capitals. 7.5 hours of gameplay down the drain because I entrenched myself instead of destroying those damn Americans. How unlikely it is to believe, Civ 5 is the near perfect game. The only thing that bothers me is the time it takes for the opponents to take their turns, especially in multiplayer, and I find that some bonuses the wonders give you can be a little bit too high. Civ 5 holds up pretty good, and unless you really want me to nitpick the problems, there's not really an issue with the game. Yeah, the matches last extremely long, but they can be saved and continue on a later date, even the multiplayer matches. The difficulty does not affect the opponents, but instead affects how many bonuses you get in the game, and your opponents aren't complete idiots, which only makes it better. After almost 7 years, Civ 5 still holds up. Civ 5 has been the game I've been procrastinating myself with, because I knew that if I started at one point I would not be able to stop at all, hence the 7.5 hour straight gaming session. Yes, it can be frustrating to lose in the end, yes you will most likely lose some friendships when you inevitably go to war with people you hold dear, but it'll be worth it when you are victorious at the end of the match. The way the games play out is extremely thought out and calculated, but it is simple enough for everyone to understand, which makes it even better for me to recommend it to you. If you see this review on the day it comes out, it will be on the Steam summer sale for $7.50. If not, well, $30 is still a good price for this treasure of a game, because Sid Meier's Civilization 5 is worth the money.